164 pounds. That is a great improvement from my starting weight of 182 pounds at the beginning of 2021. So today's topic is weight loss. 163.8! I'm nice.
Interesting. What happened? What changed?
You know what?
Please tell the people.
I had a morning adventure on the throne. So if you've been following me for a while now, you know that at the beginning of the year, my goal was to get stronger, regain some of the strength that I lost during the pandemic, and I hit 1,000-pound club, and so naturally I got a lot bigger. I gained more mass, gained more strength, which is why I reached a peak of 182 pounds at the beginning of January. And then after that, I had the goal, like, I want to get more athletic, want to get more lean, want to lose weight. And so throughout the year, I haven't been as focused, like I'd say towards the beginning half of the year for weight loss, but definitely the second half, I was like, okay, I definitely want to lose more weight. Two reasons. One, I jumped the highest when I was a lot lighter, so about 155 to 160 pounds. Two, I'm getting married next year, so I want to look good for my wedding. So I'm gonna cover some things that will hopefully help you if you're trying to lose weight, especially going to the new year, new me. So there have been a few things in the last few months that I have been doing that have helped me lose weight a little bit more efficiently and a little bit faster. So if you're interested in that, then you should keep watching. So you're not gonna lose weight unless you're in a caloric deficit. And I'm just gonna say straight up, it is a lot easier to not eat 100 calories than it is to burn 100 calories. Meaning you can make more of a dent on that caloric deficit based on diet. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, but I'm just gonna say that it's easier to not eat 100 calories than it is to burn 100 calories. All right, number 2. So there are 2 steps into burning fat. 1, you need to mobilize the fat. 2, you need to oxidize or burn the fat. And a lot of the things I want to talk about today are from Huberman podcast, so I will link the video up here somewhere or down in the description. But the main idea, okay, mobilizing the fat, pretty much getting the fat ready for you to burn it. How do you do that? So the best way to do that is to shiver. And the best way to shiver is through cold therapy. So you could do ice baths, you could do cold showers. I've been playing around with this a little bit. So right before I started working out today, I hopped in a cold shower for about a minute, turn off the water, and then just stand there for another minute and shiver. And I left the windows open. So it's pretty uncomfortable, but so far in my small data set of like 4 times, my HRV the next day there has been a spike, and that's good. So in ideal conditions, you want to try to mobilize the fat before you go ahead and oxidize it. All right, tip number 3 is to work out or strength train in a fasted state. He mentions in the podcast that those who work out in a fasted state end up burning more calories than those who didn't work out in a fasted state. So I've been doing this for a few years now just because working out in the morning feels and works better for me. So this doesn't necessarily have to be right when you wake up. You could do it in the afternoon as long as you are in a fasted state, so I haven't eaten for several hours. But it's probably easiest to just do it first thing when you wake up. And so for me, I have been doing it, been working out before work for the most part for the last few years now. Your boy is gassed. All right, the last tip is to do your cardio after your strength training. And my preferred method is basketball. All right, so the final thing that I've been doing a little bit more lately that he mentions in the podcast is drinking yerba mate tea. So I've been doing that more since around September, October-ish. Oh man, I gotta catch my breath. Okay, about 15 minutes of cardio, max heart rate 150, average heart rate 115. So, my last tip that I've been trying to do since listening to the podcast is drink yerba mate tea that has benefits for fat loss as well. So I know we're approaching end of the year, holidays, a lot of gatherings where you eat a lot, New Year's, Christmas, etc. And trying to make New Year's resolutions to lose some weight. So hopefully some of these tips are helpful for you. And maybe you try them out, see what works, see what doesn't. I do not like doing cardio. Most of my forms of cardio are basketball, volleyball, or the Rogue Echo bike I have in my garage. I'm probably not going to be running too much unless it's needed for my sport. But that being said, right here, this weigh-in was from this morning, 164 pounds. If we zoom out on the year, right, and we look at January, my average weight was 179 pounds. And then in June, 172 pounds. And then currently in December, 165 pounds. Here is September, and here is December. So you can see from September to December currently, I lost about 6 pounds, and that's kind of the time frame when I started doing, oh, I didn't even talk about intermittent fasting. All right, one last thing is intermittent fasting. So I've also been doing intermittent fasting, that being a 8-hour feeding window. So he mentions in the podcast that the studies have shown that individuals who eat the same amount of calories, so the intake is the same, but they subscribe to an 8-hour feeding window, actually burn more calories than those who did not. So I've been doing that as well, with a feeding window of about 11:30 to 12 noon to 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. And trying to only eat in that 8-hour window. So that is the last tip I have to give to you. But you could see that from September to December, I lost about 6 pounds, which is probably the biggest difference in weight loss that I had throughout the year. And that is when I started doing more of these things: intermittent fasting, yerba mate tea, cold therapy to induce shivering, and then cardio after my strength training. So I'm going to continue to do that, hopefully to get around 160 pounds by my wedding. We'll see if that's possible. But yeah, if you're trying to lose weight yourself, I wish you the best of luck. Try to have a healthy relationship with food. I still, eat out, get my In-N-Out, Jollibee when I want to. So it's not like I'm like very religious about clean eating. I try to eat clean during the week, and then I have a little bit of leeway on the weekends. But hopefully that was helpful. I'll see you in the next one, and happy holidays.